All right, so for starters, most of the compositions that I've been working on these past few weeks or months really has been assignments for school. I'm at Berkeley Online. If you haven't heard me say that enough, it's because I'm proud of myself, okay? Now, but seriously, this week specifically, we had just finished learning about diminished chords. Just triads diminished, as well as half diminished and fully diminished chords, okay? And so, with that being said, we were assigned to use these diminished chords and compose a piece to a specific picture. Here is the picture I'm going to show you right now. Do not laugh. This is just what we were assigned to have to write to. Okay, so here's the picture. Okay, so you get the gist, right? A bunch of, fishes or fish. Yeah, a bunch of fish, floating around in the tank, moving around, okay? So I knew I wanted to compose something that was in a specific mode. And in this case, I wanted to compose something in D Dorian, okay? So if you don't know what D Dorian is, or even Dorian in general, I just posted a video not too long ago. Go ahead and check that out. I knew that I wanted to use something in Dorian mode. I also knew that I wanted to kind of bring in some type of instrument element that made it feel like we were in the ocean, that made it feel like we were talking about the sea or water or fish and that kind of vibe. So in order to get that oceany kind of vibe, I decided to basically use a marimba as my main instrument. This marimba specifically is from Siniper, okay? And so here's what it sounds like. Beautiful sound. So again, I decided to compose in D Dorian, and so this is the main lick, the main chord progression that's going to be carrying this song, right? Next, I decided, okay, I have this main lick. What else should I add, incorporate into my chords, or even just the overall composition? And so I knew I wanted to have some guitars, and so I added in this guitar right here that's playing like a rhythmic element, still harmonic elements to it too, but it's really there for the rhythm. You barely can hear it when it's actually all together. And this one is from Native Instruments, Middle East Kanun, I believe it's pronounced. Beautiful instrument. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, and so I have that going on, and here's what it sounds like with the marimba all together. And so you get that kind of vibe where it's just giving almost like an arpeggiated chord structure to it, okay? I also have these guitar stops. I don't even know if that's the technical term for this, but I basically have the guitars going, but they're not actually, because this, by the way, this is in 12/8, but they're actually a little bit off on purpose. And so here's what that sounds like with that as well, okay? So it's really off, Again, native instruments. Okay, so you get the vibe. So essentially, this is really what's creating that initial spark for me when I was creating this entire track, okay? And finally, at the end, I knew that I needed to incorporate, which was the assignment, these diminished chords, okay? And specifically, diminished chords have a function that are, and I'm gonna have a whole separate video about this, but they have a function that's similar to a 5/7 chord, okay? A dominant chord. We had to use it ascending to the target chord, descending to the target chord, as well as in an auxiliary form, okay? And so again, going back into the marimba, so you guys can see this and hear it, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up right now for us the MIDI, okay? The score editor right here. You're gonna see that we have some diminished chords. The first one is about 3 bars in, where it ascends to the G chord, and then the second one is going to descend from depending on how you look at it, but we're gonna look at it as a flat chord because now we're lowering it, okay? So here we go. Right, here's the normal progression. Here's that F sharp. Diminished, right? right there. That's that A flat diminished. I added a flat 6 to it to give it a little bit more character to it. Right there, that's that flat 6 to give it that extra bit of character, but it sounds beautiful and awesome. So finally, we have our auxiliary chord at the very, very end here. Let me just go a little bit so you can hear how it kind of gets there. Here's auxiliary. So that's the auxiliary right there chord, right? We have D diminished to the D major, okay? So basically, again, this is in D Dorian, and so I wait till the very, very end to get us to that D major sounding vibe, because realistically, D Dorian is still very much so sounds like it's in the key of C, because of all the notes within D Dorian are the same notes as C. Okay, so until we get to this final point is where I finally introduce to us that D major chord to finish it all off, okay? So now I want to spend some time going over the rhythm section, okay? It's really, really important that we are able to talk about rhythm, okay? Rhythm is the soul for music, okay? Without rhythm, dare I say, there is no music, okay? It's just really boring, okay? So here's what I have for that. Let me also just make sure I solo these out. But here's what I have for the rhythm. Again, I'm inputting these in. It's, you know, I take my time with it. It's something that I take very seriously. I have no rhythm when it comes to dancing, okay? And so therefore I pay special close attention to it when I'm composing. So here's what it sounds like on just the rhythm section. So good. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot going on in this rhythm section. This track is in 12/8, like I said before, and so I'm playing a lot on the syncopation of the 12/8 in the very beginning portion until the very end, when I finally introduce in the second half of this track the bass guitar. Okay, the bass guitar is what grounds everything together. If the rhythm is soul, then I would say the bass guitar is like, you know, I don't know. It's just really important, okay? So listen to this track again with just the marimba and just the rhythm section, and then listen to it again when with the bass included in it, okay? So here we go. So that's that. Now I'm gonna play this with the bass guitar as it comes in. You're gonna hear it makes a really big difference. It kind of gives the song an additional push. Okay, here we go. Ready? In another lifetime, I was a bass player, okay? In another lifetime, I was Victor Wooten, you know, just shedding, okay? And so I'm obsessed with rhythm. I'm obsessed with bass because those are two things that I really wish I could do, but I suck at it in regular life, okay? So when it comes to composing, I really like to incorporate a nice groove. And to me, a nice groove always comes with the rhythm and the bass line. Okay, so that's enough for me for today, talking and stuff like that. Let me go ahead and just play you guys this entire track together in its entirety. Hope you guys really enjoyed this little demonstration. If you guys have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, here we go.